Hey everybody, how's it going? Well, I've been working on this Super Pro for the last 2-3 weeks. This saw was typical of our turd saw builds here. Pretty trashed. Every gasket in this thing is disintegrated. The little O-rings underneath the bolts that hold the cylinder on, those things are toast. I think it's a good thing we ripped this one down. We had that little bit of scoring on the piston. There is some scoring on the cylinder, so keep your fingers crossed. We'll pray to the McCulloch gods. Hopefully this thing holds together. It's an old power saw, guys. This thing's pretty haggard. But we'll do our best, right? That's the beauty of these donation saws, is it's a saw that, you know, didn't run very well to start with. It probably wouldn't get much use, or just would have gotten blown up without somebody spending the time. I have hours and hours and hours into this saw, guys. A lot of it I didn't film, just in the interest of time. This is a personal project. I want to see if I can make a McCulloch rock and roll. Learning these saws, they could be a little tricky to work on, especially if you're porting them. It's hard to get in and out of the cylinder. It's really deep. I cleaned up the bearing pockets. They had some dings on them actually when I pulled this thing apart. Plating's not terrible on this thing, but like I said, there's a couple of scores over top of the exhaust roof, the exhaust port. But whatever, right? We're just having fun. If this thing grenades, it probably would have grenaded before I touched it, or, you know, if I didn't touch it. So let's see what we can do. I put the rings on this thing. I cleaned the piston up. Clean and degrease everything. I cleaned the bearings, gave them a thorough rinse. They don't feel too bad. This one feels good. So I think we're going to put this cylinder on today, guys. I have never done this before. This is the first time I've ever worked on a Mac, guys. And so bear with me. I'm learning. A lot of you guys out there like Macs. You Mac guys are nuts about these things. I understand. They're neat. They look cool. They sound cool. Totally ahead of their time. And I'm honored that somebody sent me one, or two of them. I got another one here. That one's minty. I didn't really feel good about cutting that one up yet. This one, no problem. So we still got a lot of work to do on this saw. I got to make a few more gaskets. The AV mounts are broken completely. Just little things here and there. I'll film some of it. I just want to get this top end together and check that everything's good and smooth, and, you know, get something done on this saw. I'm going to pause you guys here, bring you in closer. I have cleaned and degreased everything, including my hands. Wipe the cylinder out. I like to wipe my cylinders. And I've done this for years, even when I worked on Harleys and stuff like that. I like to wipe my cylinders till a white cloth comes out clean. When it comes out clean, I'm happy that there's no micro. When you're honing these cylinders, guys, I did hone this a little bit. When you're honing and grinding and porting and sanding and doing all the things we do, you can embed fine particulate into the cylinder walls and that. And if you don't get that off, it can and will just absolutely destroy your piston, so, and your plating and your bearings. So I like to really clean these things. I'll bring you guys in here and show you what I'm doing. Bear with me. I've never put one of these together, so we can all laugh at me together. Okay, guys, so I already slipped the rings on. I've done that quite a few times on film. These do have ring locators. They're pinned. So there's your intake side, your exhaust. We clean this piston up the best that we can. I'm going to get a new piston for this saw, but for right now, this is purely R&D. Like I said, I've never ever done one of these. Any of you guys that have been on this channel know that I haven't touched Macs. So I got my finger clean. I'm going to apply a thin layer of Moto Seal to all these surfaces, and then I think what I'm going to do both the surfaces, this side and this side, and I think I'll I'll put the piston and crank assembly in here, and then I'll put this on, and then I'm going to put the bolts. I made new gaskets for these bolts because whatever was under here, I think they were O-rings, they're completely wasted. So we don't want to suck oil into the crankcase. I'm just going to pause you guys here, do some final prep, and then let's get this rocking and rolling. Okay, I just gave this a quick wipe. It's ready. Okay, well, first thing I want to do, yeah, okay. Again, guys, I just film what I'm doing. I've never done this before with one of these, and watch away, and hopefully, I'm just hoping this thing rips. I got a lot of time into this saw, a lot of R&D, just studying the makeup of these. They're different. Different's fun, gets your brain going. And again, because I do this as a hobby, I'll make time for this kind of stuff. Now, there's a locator here. This pin holds this in to the case, so I'm going to have to be very aware of that when I put this together. I think these crank seals are okay. They have good tension on them. If this thing starts giving me fits, we'll deal with that later. Now, I'm going to attempt to put some oil in here and spin these around. I degreased everything. I'm going to put a little bit of this in here too. Tricky part is to not get the oil onto any surface that we want to seal, right? So, okay, there's that. I'm just going to grab a rag here, guys. How you guys doing? I'm having a good day. I'm always having a good day, in case you guys haven't noticed. Life is all in how you perceive it, is what I'm learning as I get older. I wasn't always that way, but good times and bad times in life. And me personally, it's all in how you perceive it. It's only as bad as you let it be, I guess. So I'm always having a good time when I'm on YouTube. This is fun. We all need a little more fun, especially with all the things that have gone on this year, and I'm sure everybody on this channel has something, you know, has a story. So if I can help you guys pass the time away, I'm going to do it. Okay. I think we're happy with that. Again, guys, I'm super anal when it comes to cleaning. I don't like air leaks. Okay, well, I guess here goes nothing. My finger is degreased. Take some of this, just a little bit, and I'm going to put a liberal coat on this bearing pocket. Do the best that we can with what we have, right? Okay, liberal coat on the bearing pocket. Do this one. You want to make sure that you don't have any leaks with this kind of stuff. Okay, just put a little on this flange. Try not to get it inside. One thing that's nice about a clamshell, which this is that you can get at things, but the downside is, like oiling the bottom end. I normally pour oil in my bottom end when I'm done my bottom end build. Which reminds me, we got another bottom end build to do on the channel. I got a saw here, I'll show you guys. Down the road, we're going to port it and make it silly. Okay, I'm being pretty liberal with this. If this stuff gets inside the motor, and I've had it happen, it does literally nothing. I mean, I try to avoid having it in the motor, but honestly, guys, this stuff goes through the motor and it's done. Like, I've experienced that. I've seen it in saws I've pulled apart. So, be careful, but it's not the worst thing if you get a little bit inside. What I worry about is blocking airflow, the transfers, etc. I've seen this stuff on so heavy, and I wish I got it on film, that it was literally blocking the transfer ports on the saw. Saw didn't run very good apparently either, so. Okay, put this on there. This is exciting, guys. This is my first McCulloch putting back together, you know, assembly. That's cool. learning and growing is what we're all doing together. And super happy that you guys showed up here today. This is good times. Okay. Well, she's a little tick on there, but we'll, it is what it is, right? Okay, I'm going to put a thin coating on these bearings. So again, I want this to seal. The last guy that had this saw apart used clear silicone. I don't know if that was factory on these. You Mac guys, speak up. The saw had clear silicone holding it together. Almost didn't see it, but it was there. Whatever, the saw seemed to run, from the little bit of running I did with it, seemed to run okay. So we'll see. Hopefully we put this thing back together and it runs. If it doesn't, I'm sure we'll have it on film. Not every saw is going to be, especially, that's the thing, this old stuff, guys, this is not for the faint of heart. These are hard to work on. They're hard to get parts for. This is just fun, right? Give the Mac some love. I like old-timey things. Definitely not for everybody, though. This kind of stuff. I've always kind of been a weirdo, and I like my own things. That's just how I roll. Okay, let's... Okay, well, now I'm going to carefully dip my finger in here, and I'm going to put a thin layer of oil on the piston. Okay, I'm going to rub it in there. I like to rub my oil into my piston. I've always done that. I don't know, impregnate it maybe. Okay, a little bit here and a little bit there. I don't like to go too wild. Oh, and I got oil on my gasket surface. Oh, nice job, Tin Man. Well then, that was something. Okay, well, not the worst thing, but we got to deal with that. I'm going to wipe this whole bearing pocket down, and I'm going to redo it quickly, because this stuff's going to skin. And nice thing is it didn't get past the sealant, but we still... See, these are the kind of little things, guys, that it happens, and just got to deal with it. I try not to cut in corners when I'm putting saws together, because they'll bite you. I'll have an air leak in this thing, and then I'll be fighting with that forever. It happens. Okay. Okay. Take this assembly, plop it down this way. Now here's the key with this. I got to make sure that dowel pin lines up. Okay, put this down into here. How am I doing, Mac guys? I hope I'm doing you Mac guys proud, because I got into this for a Mac guy. You guys can guess who. So we're going to build us some Macs. Yes, sir. Okay, well, here goes nothing. Well, I think we got her, guys. I'm not sure. Let's see if this moves. Yeah, it moves all right. Well, okay. Well, I think we got her. I guess we'll find out. Okay, I'm going to put Moto Seal on these bolt heads right here, guys. I'm going to put Moto Seal on these bolt heads, because I'm a little paranoid about these. I made gaskets, like paper gaskets, whether they work. We're going to put some Moto Seal on here as a little extra insurance policy, because, again, I don't know, I've never done this before. So, again, it's a turd saw, so I think there was O-rings on here, I'm not sure. And I dropped my cap for my Moto Seal, typical. Okay, so we got this. Let's put this on there. I'll be liberal with this on this part, because whatever, it's just in the oil tank. It's not going to hurt nothing. I've already cleaned inside there and made sure we had a good mating surface for these gaskets we made. Okay. Drop this one over there. Hope you guys can see all this. Yeah, you can. That's good. And again, I'm going to put Moto Seal on both sides. Okay, I'm dropping her in. Number one. I didn't pull the oil pump out on this thing because I'm trying to disturb as little as possible, but it bites me because I have a hard time getting my fingers in there. You think I'd work on big engines, not small engines, but it is what it is, right? We all like what we like. Okay. Dropping those in there. I'm going to get you guys a better view of in that oil tank after we cinch these down. I want to get these cinched because this stuff doesn't like to skin. It likes to be put together when it's tacky, I find. I don't ever let this stuff skin. Okay, got this. Use our driver. Just going to get these started with the driver. Everything's moving. Okay. There's 4 more bolts that go here and here, but I want to get the main ones down first. And then I'll put the other 4 in after. Because I think there'll be enough force on these flanges that I think, and again I don't know, but I think there'll be enough on here to cinch these down. Enough force. Okay. Well. Now, one thing I noticed about these Macs is they have good tension. They have good tension on the bearings. Oh, there we go. How did I do, guys? Never done this before. Didn't pre-try it or anything. I'm like, oh, I'll turn the camera on. I'm just looking for my cap here, guys. Give me a second. Moto Seal cap. Okay, guys. I'm just gonna cinch these down. I found my cap. It was on the floor. Imagine that. It's one of my secret moves. I like to drop everything all the time. One of my moves. Okay, everything spins freely. There is tension on here from the seals, but I don't feel any tight spots, or so we're gonna call that good. These bearing pockets had a little bit of, they had dings in them, and it looked like somebody had gone in there before and tried to smooth them out, and they're kind of rough. So when I took this thing apart, it was like I wanted to clean those up. So I did clean up the bearing pockets, and I want to make sure that there's no binding or, you know, anything like that going on. Okay, there's 4 more bolts that hold this on. They're 1/4 inch, tiny little guys, and they're not the funnest to get at, those front 2. They're kind of a little bit of a pain. These are a little tricky to work on, these Mac thingamajiggies. I'm just going to grab a socket here. Okay, I got my screwdriver. Yeah, these Macs are a little tricky to work on, I'm not going to lie. Maybe it's just me, I'm not used to them, but props to the bellhopper. That guy works on these things all the time. They're definitely time consuming. They're a little different. I'm willing to learn though, guys. The more saws I work on, the better. So that's how I look at it. I mean, I personally would get bored if I only worked on one brand, or, you know, that's just how I work. To each their own though, right? That's what makes the world so much fun, is that we're all into different things. Now, I'm finding you can't even get a wrench on these the way they're cast. I want to snug them down, and I can really worry about torquing them after. So I want to make sure that the moto seal bonds. Once it's bonded, you're gonna have to whack it with a mallet after to get this apart. So I've never ever had a failure with the moto seal ever. Okay, snug this one down. There we go. This one. Yeah, I find it's hard to even fit a socket on here. There we go. Okay, well, we have compression. I can feel it coming out of the impulse line. Here, guys, look inside there. Turn your. Okay, see all the goop oozing out. I have gaskets and goop in there. That should be good. I don't have O-rings that'll fit, and the ones I have are too fat, so if I reef them down, they're going to rip probably. There is a shoulder on these bolts, but yeah, I'll try this. If we have an air leak, it'll probably be there. So, okay, well, as you guys can see, moto seal oozing out from all sides around the seals. I like that because that means if it's oozing out everywhere, that means I did my job and I got it, you know. Hopefully too much didn't get into the motor, but like I said, just be careful with it and do the best you can. That's all you can do, right? That's all you can do. This is exciting, guys. My first Mac. Now, the next thing that I like to do, guys, because this thing, the compression was a little questionable on it. Now, remember we cleaned this thing up, right? We cleaned this thing up and gave it a quick light hone. And I'm curious now. I always do this, guys, when I put a cylinder together. How's the compression now? I'm a very patient man, except for when it comes to this stuff. I get impatient and I'm like, I want to know. How's the compression feel now? Got the shovel head wrench. Works on McCulloch's shovel heads, home lights. This shovel head wrench. Oh, I'd be lost without this thing. Again, it fits right in there. Okay. Spark plug. I'm just going to grab a random one. I actually bought a brand new spark plug for this thing, guys. Yeah, that spark plug's the mintest thing on this machine. Okay, well, I'll just screw that in by hand. Oh, yeah. She's actually popping through here. And what you're hearing there, guys, and it's funny, these things have very little dwell at the top or the bottom, I noticed. And I don't know why that's the way they are, but when that rod goes up and down, it's quick. But yeah, that little twang, you're hearing the rings twang. Ring grooves are tight in this, but a lot of times when you turn a motor up and down on these older power saws, you'll actually hear the rings go click, 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 and it gets echoed into the cylinder. So if you hear that on your saw, it doesn't mean it's going to blow up. I discovered that early on. Okay, guys, zoom you back out here. Are we on? We're on. Okay, there you guys go. One McCulloch cylinder installed, kind of step by step. Again, I've never done this before, so I'm always willing to share with you guys when I'm doing something, because whatever, more info on the internet, the better, is how I look at it. So, oh, there's one more screw in here, right there. Okay. How did I do, Mac, guys? First time, never put one of these together. I'm kind of cheating. I've put together how many saws, so, but honestly, never touched one of these, guys. I'm super happy to give Max some love on this channel, and I'm going to keep working on them. These are fun. They're just different. I find they're very time consuming. I don't know how quickly I could recreate this build. I did a lot of porting in this saw, guys. She's going to do stuff. The question is, how much stuff will she do? We don't know until we fire it up. Anyhow, I'm just being silly and laughing. I always feel good when it gets to this point, because it's becoming a power saw, right? So, anyhow, as always, thanks for watching. Take it easy. Later, guys.